Let's do it.
Hi, and welcome back to Someone Needs to Say It TV. I'm Emily here with Alex, and today we are going to be discussing abortion. Really, what it comes down to is what we think about it, what our take is, and maybe you might agree with us, you might not, but we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. So I'm going to let you take it, Alex, with what is your how do you feel about abortion? Are you pro-life or are you pro-choice?
I would say I'm more so pro common sense. I see both sides to the coin. I know it's near and dear to a lot of people. Most of us have had to deal with, or whether directly or through family members. But I would say I'm more of a pro-choice. Or no, excuse me, pro-life with a reasonability or reasonable understanding of sometimes there's things that come up that, in my opinion, are common sense, like the health of the mother.
Yeah.
If she's gonna possibly lose her life, I think that's a no-brainer, and that shouldn't even be a question. If the mother's gonna die having a child, I don't think that she should have to choose to lose her life, or the high likelihood of her losing her life.
So you agree with the current laws we have in place right now?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think
Okay.
that this is, with this being such a important topic, the fact that there isn't any standard, basically, and it changes, with the Roe v. Wade thing, which that's a very confusing topic in and of itself, because Roe v. Wade, all it did was take away the federal government's blessing or not, the green light or red light of allowing people. So it puts it on the states, just like the legalization of marijuana. Well, they said, okay, hey, the federal government says it's not allowed, but the states can choose. Mm-hmm. Roe v. Wade, the repealing of Roe v. Wade just basically made the same argument and said, look, the federal government's not going to mandate that it has to be allowed or that it's not allowed at all. It's up to the states. So the states can enforce their own rules and laws and do how their civilian populace wants to. So I actually
I don't really think that's a bad thing.
No, I think that's a good thing. I think that the people of your state choose how they want to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't agree with your governor, then go to another state or get out and vote differently.
Yeah, talk to, just like you would try to sway voters or people that are like-minded like you that live in your community to vote a certain way, or hey, if you don't like the legalization of weed, you don't live in California, or one of those things. So,
yeah.
And I got it. It's going to be unpopular to people that are on the other side of the coin, but we have to start somewhere. And I think that that's a reasonable argument. Like, hey, let's not mandate it from the federal side. Let's just leave it up to the states to choose. However, the part that I don't like is that there's so much discrepancy between, like, there isn't a standard, even, and the standards that are in place state by state, they're very different, very, very different. It'd be 8 weeks in this state, not at all in this state, certain stipulations in another state. I think that it's a conversation that should be had. Someone needs to say it, and an actual, like, legitimate, reasonable guideline to set a standard that makes sense. I know that you hear the argument about, like, oh, I didn't even know I was pregnant until I was 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever. Okay, well, so a
lot of women do have irregular periods. So
I understand.
They, I can see where they don't know.
It's possible.
And they couldn't find.
I'm not a woman, so I can't speak to that. So I'm just going to have to roll with your opinion on it, because I don't know. I've never had a period, so I can't say if I would have known or would know or wouldn't have known if I would. I mean, just as a rational person, I would think, though, that if I know that I'm going to have a period and I haven't had a period for 2 months or 3 months,
but see,
I
that's
might
the
want to
thing.
think.
Women don't know if they're going to have periods. A lot of them are irregular.
For 3 months?
Yes, they can go. Some women have like 2 periods a year, even. It's.
How often does that happen?
I'm not sure. I don't know the statistics on it, but I do know personally from my friends and people I've talked to, they have irregular periods, and
To
it
where they
really
only
is a
have
thing.
2 in a year?
Some do, yes, absolutely.
I don't know. I would have to see some statistics. I'm more than willing to accept that I'm wrong because I don't know and I'm just speculating.
No, yeah, I'm just
But
saying it is a thing, though.
I've never in my entire 39 years of existence ever heard of someone saying that they only had 2 periods out of a year. I've never heard that.
It can happen.
So,
It can.
I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying this is the first I've ever heard of it. And yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about IVF? How is your take on that? With you being kind of pro life, but also having those standards, do you think IVF is? Do you think it's like playing God, or?
Man, I think that there's a lot more to the topic that people don't realize. They it's easy to put clickbait out there and just say, oh, well, you're against IVF. Well, no, I'm not against IVF. I think it can be a great thing if it's used the way that it's. I think that the people that came up with the technique were trying to, which was helping people get pregnant that weren't
And that's the
able to get
ultimate
pregnant.
goal,
Right,
is to help families grow.
Okay, well,
not play God or play genetics here and
But that's
pick
where
out
we've
what
come.
color eye they want to have their kid.
Right.
Whether they want to have a boy or girl.
However,
I can't get on board with that.
What's come from that is, and if people will look into it and actually do the research on it, people now, you go into IVF, they take the sperm and the eggs, and they're able to create basically babies on ice. And let's say that you go in there and they harvest your sperm and your eggs, and then they create, meaning viable zygotes, viable babies, if you will, 20 of them, and put them on ice. And then the parents can literally choose from those viable specimens which one they want, how many they want. Do they want 1? Do they want 3? Do they want 19? And then my problem with that is, okay, well, let's say you pick one. Well, you can actually now pick, you want a boy or a girl? You want a boy or a girl that has brown hair or blue eyes, or is going to be tall, or is going to be
much.
I think so too.
I think that's too much.
And where I really have a problem with it is where it comes to the tail end of it. Once they choose, let's just say, the couple A chose to have 2 of those kids. Well, but they had 20 viable specimens. Well, you know what happens to those other 18 when they say that they're done? They can either keep them on ice, literally keeping a human life frozen on ice in case you just so happen to want another one, or they say, no, we're good, we're done, and then they go ahead and destroy all those other.
And see, I'm a firm believer that you are made up from your DNA. And DNA happens at conception. And that's kind of my argument when it comes
So
to...
then those would be conceived children.
I know. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's a very gray area for me.
I don't think it's very gray. I mean, those are, according to your definition.
Well, I think disposing them, yeah. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable with that.
So then you're not a fan of IVF?
Probably, I would say, if they use it the right way, and there's a way they can maybe, because the technology is always advancing, right? If there's a way they can use it to where they're not disposing the other babies, then yes, I am all about expanding and creating families and helping people with that. If God gives us the tools to be able to use that, I feel like we should be able to use that. But there needs to be a line drawn to where, okay, this isn't okay. Like disposing them or using them for scientific research. That's not okay.
I agree. I don't think that's okay.
I don't think that's right.
But that's the way that the process works. And unfortunately, they don't just go in there and harvest 1 egg or 2 eggs or 3 eggs. No, they harvest, basically, from my understanding, all the available or quality eggs that they can, because it's basically a one-time or very few times that they can even do it. Plus, that woman would have to go under surgical anesthesia or whatever else to harvest those eggs. So it's not like you can just go, oh, well, let's go in there and pop out 1 and hope that it works. And then that's not how the process works. It's already, prohibitively expensive. that would just, I mean, you're talking about astronomical cost to go in there, and plus the amount of manpower and clinic time or whatever you would call it, lab time, just to do that. I don't think that'd be a viable process if you tried to go about it that way. But I do. I mean, but then again, most people don't even know that that's part of it. Most people just think, oh, well, yeah, they're just giving them some medicines to make them more fertile or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I thought. I thought that at first.
Well,
I can honestly admit that I did. I didn't realize until I did more research and dived into it what it entailed.
It's gotten crazy, and I'm not gonna name drop people, but there are celebrities that are actively right now picking and choosing their kids, future kids, and keeping literal lives on ice in the event that they want to have kids or want someone else to have kids, or you don't even have to have the kid anymore. You could get your eggs taken out, have 20 humans created, put on ice, pick and choose which ones you want, do DNA sequencing and change genes and things of that future child, and then take that and put it into someone else and have that other person, that other woman carry that child, grow that child, birth that child, and then give it back to you like, here you go, here's your finished product.
And, they're treating children like we're products. It's a new pair of shiny shoes. That's not crazy. Well, we are at all. Like we have completely lost the value of a human life.
Right, for sure. No, definitely. I mean, and that's why when I say I'm pro-life, I'd say not 80%, 90% pro-life. I do think that there's a medical necessity to look at things with a reasonable, sound mind and say, hey, like, okay, if the mom's going to die or could die, or a high likelihood that she's going to have something bad is going to happen if she has this child or proceeds with this pregnancy, there's a high likelihood of her being hurt or killed. That's a no-brainer to me. Rape, incest, those things, I think that's a no-brainer to me.
Yes.
But even at that, I think that there's rules and stipulations that should be made so that there's like, hey, we need to report these things. We need to report rapes and incest. We need to find a way to fix that because we need to get those people out of society.
Yeah. Like, that's a whole nother topic.
Totally. And I can't wait till we talk about rape because I'm so tired of just seeing the can get kicked down the road or stuff swept under the rug. Like, when can we start getting rid of some of these people? When can we start identifying these people,
or
making
like
sure they face justice? Well, I mean, whatever you want to do.
Why not?
But something needs to be done because, like, the people still keep getting hurt on both sides, males and females.
Yeah.
So it's not a one-sided argument, even though I think that the numbers are probably heavily skewed towards the women's side. But like we have to start doing something. We have to start talking about this stuff so we can find a way to fix this problem because like it's not okay. Like that's not okay. It's not okay for people to be molesting children and doing things that are literally ruining their entire lives or putting a huge dark cloud above their entire lives and that nothing happening to them. Them not being even identified or facing punishment or judgment. I'm so against that. And I guess
that kind of falls along into like what do you think about the current child care system, the foster care? I know a lot of molestations and rapes happen in that.
Oh, totally. Trafficking of children.
All of that. Do you think that should be improved before people start advocating for pro-life?
Well, I think that they should go hand in hand because if you're going to say, hey, you things need to be pro-life and you need to bring a child into this world, but oh, wait, we're not going to help you on the back end.
Right.
I don't think that's right either. So if you're going to force people to carry a child, whether they meant to, whether they didn't mean to, whether it was an accident, whether it was an oversight, whatever the reason, I think that we need to start this conversation, start dialogue about it so that we can figure out solutions to, hey, we need babies. If society is going to continue on into the future, we have to keep having kids. That's how society continues. However, just having babies isn't the entire picture. You have to talk about how are we going to make sure that the parents of these children can survive and be able to provide for their kids and not be in such a destitute or poor living situation that the children aren't getting what they needed or whatever, or could potentially fall into bad hands. Like there's a lot to this entire topic other than just abortion or
Well, there's so
whatever.
much
There's
like
so much that
lack
goes
of
into it.
financial and emotional support for these women. I mean, it's ridiculous how crazy it is. Yeah, that definitely needs to be improved. I feel like having that,
there's so much to it.
starting there and improving the current system.
And it needs to be something that's across the board. I mean, we can't just do, oh, we're just going to pop out a bunch of babies, or oh, we're just going to get health care or mental health in line. No, we need to start pushing on all these issues and advance these issues at the same time together, because they go hand in hand.
Go together.
Straight up.
Yeah.
100%.
But yeah, that's really my. I feel like we covered a lot, got a lot of ground covered.
Yeah, let's hear what the audience has to say.
Yeah.
I mean, talk to us, guys. We're going to do a follow up to this one. This is going to be a multifaceted
there's so much to
conversation.
cover.
So there's just so much to cover. But yeah, we wanted to open it up and put it out there and see, get people talking. So we will read the comments and respond to y'all, and hopefully we can start guiding this conversation through this very very hot topic.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Have a good day.